Guest today, Sheikh Yusuf Estes. Welcome. Salam alaikum and welcome to the show.
Wa alaikum assalam, rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, y'all.
Y'all, mashallah, we've never seen a sheikh with a cowboy hat on. I love it. Being from Texas myself, so it is very exciting to have you on the show, mashallah.
MashaAllah. Haleh, where are you from in Texas?
I'm in Dallas, Texas, but my hometown was Houston.
I grew up in Houston and I made Shahada in Dallas.
Oh, you took your Shahada in Dallas, and this is what I want to hear about. I want to hear all the juicy details. Mashallah, you've been doing such amazing work, and you've been an inspiration for so many of us. And I remember the first time I attended, one of your lectures was in Houston, and my husband actually scheduled the talk, and you came up with a really stimulating topic, which said the truth about Islam revealed. And you had them, at that time we didn't have internet, right? So you had to make flyers and put it all over the churches, and it was a full house. And mashallah, I think that day there were a lot of people who took their Shahada.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we now have a website called Expose Islam.
Oh, wow. So you use a lot of psychology when you are giving the dawah. What is your tactic? Tell us about it.
Well, I can't even spell the word psychology, but I do keep in mind something that we said back in my marketing days, and I carry it forward. They said, kiss. And I thought, oh, wait a minute, who are we going to kiss? And they said, no, Kiss. Keep it super simple. And that's exactly what I like to do now. Some people said keep it simple, stupid, but I said, no, I like that.
That's the version I had heard. I was waiting for it. Then when you didn't say it, I said, well, I'm not going to bring it up. Okay, so keep it simple. I love it. And that appeals because the super
simple.
Super simple. I am going to remember that in my marketing. So Jazakallah khairan, Sheikh. You know, I want to find out about before becoming Muslim. So you've made amazing changes in your life. You were a Christian minister and you were committed to teaching others about Christianity. What happened? Tell us about your life before Islam.
First of all, I have to clarify something. They translated this story into Arabic, and then when they translated it back out, I became a priest, a deceased. Actually, I was a lay minister, which is meaning that I didn't get paid for it. I was a volunteer, and I played the organ because we sold pianos, we sold organs, and I was in the music industry since I was 8 years old. So, yeah.
Mashallah. Thank you for the clarification. I knew you were a minister because you're married and priests don't get married. So I'm glad that you clarified that. But what was your life like when I was describing you in my introduction? Could you relate to that person?
Actually, you did a real good job. The facts is that I did preach Christianity both on the pulpit and in my life. Anybody that I talked to, I wanted to convert them to be the Christian that I thought they should be. And I spent a lot of time working with the youth and elders. Anybody I could talk to, I wanted to tell them that I had found Jesus. And I didn't even know that I was lost. But anyway.
SubhanAllah. And what was your image of Islam and the Muslims? Did you know anything about Islam at that time when you were a minister preaching Christianity?
I didn't know anything at all except what I saw on TV. And what I saw on TV were from other religious groups. It said that Islam was bad because the Muslims are terrorists, the kidnappers, hijackers. They don't believe in God. they worship a black box in the desert, and they kiss the ground 5 times a day. And
wow.
with that,
Well, I don't blame you for, just being confused about that. And I'm sure many people across the globe probably share that same sentiment. This is what they have been taught that is Islam. And so that doesn't sound very appealing. Now, what happened? How did you get exposed to Islam?
actually, my father told me one day that I lived with my father at his place out in the country. And he told me one day we're going to start doing business with a man from Egypt. And when he said that, I said, oh, yeah, the pyramids, the Nile River, that idea of doing business with somebody from over there, the mystic land of the pyramids.
Right. It sounded intriguing, right?
And then he said he's a Muslim. And I went, oh, whoa, no, we got to stop. We'll stop right there. No,
you got scared. You got scared. Why? What made you scared?
Because exactly what I told my father, these guys are a bunch of terrorists, hijackers, kidnappers. They don't believe in God. They worship a black box in the desert, and they kiss the ground 5 times a day. Exactly what I heard on the television. And my father said, no, he's a nice guy. You got to meet him. And I said, well, wait, hold. If I meet this guy, it's got to be on my terms. And he said, what's your terms? And I said, I got to meet him on Sunday. I'm going to come straight from the church. I'm not even going to stop and eat at the restaurant. All the churches, they let out at exactly 12 o'clock. Everybody runs to get to the lunch line. And so I said, no, I'm going to be fasting. Oh, wow, I'm not even going to eat after the. And so, then I knew what these Muslims looked like from TV, the cartoons that they drew. And I said, oh, I know what this guy's going to look like. And he's going to be wearing a big, like a bathrobe. He's going to be having that on. And then he's going to have a big imama on, a turban. And then he's going to have one eyebrow that goes all the way across his forehead. And he's going to have a big lehia, a big beard. And these guys, and he's probably going to have a sword or a knife. Oh my
goodness! So you expected,
a dagger.
You had a certain image, and how did this Egyptian businessman look like? Did he look like that at all?
I'm coming to that part.
Oh, you're coming.
Anyway, when I got out of the church and I was walking there to my dad's place of business. And I had my Bible under my arm. I had my cross, and I had my hat. In those days, I had a cap like this kind of cap,
Okay, right.
And it said, Jesus is Lord right across the front of it.
Wow, you weren't shy. You weren't messing around. You wanted to have it known. Okay.
All right. But then when I got there, my dad, I said, where is he? He said, he's right here. I said, that's not a Muslim, because this man was wearing normal clothes, just a shirt and pair of pants. And in fact, he didn't even have a beard. He didn't even have any hair on his head. He was bald headed. And I thought, well, this is a normal person here. And I put my hand out to him and shook his hand. And I felt it was a warm hand. And I thought, well, I thought they'd be cold like dead people or something, And I really had no idea. But when I met the guy, I started out with him right like this. I said, you guys don't believe in God, do you? He said, if I don't believe in God, I can't be a Muslim. And I said, oh, yeah. But the God of Abraham, the God of Adam, the God of Moses, you don't believe in them. He said, of course I do.
Right.
I said, oh, really? But you don't believe in Jesus Christ, do you? He said, if I don't believe in Jesus, I can't be a Muslim. I said, really? And he started talking about the miracles that Jesus did. And I said, huh? And Jesus is a miracle birth. And I said, oh, okay. All right, now, yes,
Now you
we
got
got it
it.
on the. Yeah,
Right.
I can convert this guy to Christianity. I'm ready.
You had a plan. You had planned to convert him. And how did that go?
Well, 3 months later, I had spent all of that 3 months driving around the countryside with him in my car. And all the way along, I would talk to him about Jesus, about the Bible, about Christianity. And then when I would ask him, what do you got in Islam? And he would give me a simple, beautiful answer. And I thought, I wish I'd have thought of that. Anyway, yeah. And then the next subject, after 3 months, now we're talking about 90 days, over 90 days.
That's a long time.
Listening to him and questioning him. And he was a very simple person. Although he was highly educated, he was a geologist. He had graduated from Al-Azhar University in Cairo, and he had a lot of business sense and a lot of Islamic sense as well. And the one thing that sticks in my mind the most is he didn't ever try to pressure me at all on coming into Islam. As a matter of fact, he would just ask a question and then listen to the answer. Now, a lot of people can ask questions. A lot of salesmen, a lot of con artists, a lot of super duper salespeople, you know, they ask questions, but they don't listen to the answer. And that's what he was real good at. He would listen to the answer and go, and he would retain it in his memory. And then later he would use the answer that I came up with. He said, well, if you believe such and such, you see how that goes. And I was thinking, okay, now I got to modify what I say because what he has is better than what I have.
Wow. So you were, just to summarize, you were spending this like 3 months with him and you're coming up with all these questions. He was listening. He wasn't pressuring you because we know that in Islam, there's no compulsion in religion. You can't force anyone. And yet he was asking questions and listening because there is an art to listening that most people have not mastered. So he was retaining what you were saying in order to be able to address you. And what made you, were there things that he said that made you maybe question some things about your faith and about Christianity?
There were many things that he asked me about that made me think about my position. And at one point, after the 90 days that we spent together, it was in the middle of July, a friend of mine who was a priest, a Catholic priest. I was not a Catholic, but I had friends in all faiths, you know. And this person had come to live with us in our house. Well, he was getting over a heart attack. And he asked the Muslim, his name was Muhammad Abdurrahman, Rahimahullah. He passed away now. But anyway, the priest asked him, can I go to your church, meaning the masjid? And he said, yeah. And he took him over there. And when he came back, it was during the day, you know. So they prayed silently. And when he came back, we took him aside. We said, what do they do in there? Do they make bombs or, you know, slaughter animals? Or what do they do? He said, no. He said they stood like monks, lined up like monks. He said, and then it was so beautiful. It was quiet. It was so peaceful. And then he said they bowed, just like in the Old Testament talks about the prophets bowing and prostrating, throwing their face upon the floor or the ground. You know, they fell on their faces. And he said it reminded me so much of the Bible. And the people, the prophets of the Bible, they did this. And I thought, Then the next time that the priest would ask him, I want to go back again, they didn't come back till late at night. And when they came back, I saw the Muslim get out of the car, and he was wearing his normal clothes. Then I saw the other door open, and I watched somebody get out that it was wearing a white, looked like a robe.
Right.
And then he had on a cap that looked like this, except no hole in there, you know.
Right. And Lucy. Right.
And I said, that's the priest?
Oh, no.
And I asked him, I said, did you become a
Subhanallah.
Muslim? And he said, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, Ashhadu Muhammadur Rasulullah. I bear witness there is only one God, Allah, and I bear witness Muhammad is his messenger.
So the priest went
The
to
priest
the masjid
accepted
with this
and-
Muslim, this average Muslim man. He watched, he observed, he saw that the prostration, the bowing, all of these things resembled what he had read about, what the prophets used to do, and he took his shahada. Subhanallah, Allahu Akbar. How did you feel at that moment, seeing the priest become a Muslim?
I wanted to record it. We used to have a television channel a long time ago, and I wanted to record it. So I pulled out the cameras, I set up all the lights and everything, but by that time the priest fell asleep. So I just took it all back down, and I went upstairs to my
Right.
family. We lived on the top floor in the house. So, and I was talking to my family, but I wanted to see if had she got the same notion that I did, that maybe we should be looking at Islam. And I told her, what do you think about the priest becoming a Muslim? And then she responded by saying, I want a divorce. And I said, what? She said, a Muslim cannot be married to a Christian,
Oh,
and a Christian cannot be married to a Muslim. And I said, whoa, wait. I didn't say I want to be, I would never be one of those guys. No. Come on. Yeah. But he did say, Muhammad said to us that a Christian woman could be married to a Muslim man. However, don't panic, but it's just that a Christian man could not be married to a Muslim lady. She said, that's my point. I want to be a Muslim and you don't. So, and I thought, whoa, wait. I said, the good news is I really want to be a Muslim too. I just didn't know how to. She said, stop right there. I want a divorce. Get out. I said, what, wait. She said, you're either a liar right now or you were a liar 5 minutes ago when you were saying that you don't want to be a Muslim.
Subhanallah.
So get out.
So at the
I was
same
halfway
time,
down the stairs before I realized she kicked me out of my own father's house. So I went down to Muhammad and knocked on his door, and I said, listen, you and me, we got to talk. So we went outside and we started walking. Now it's after midnight now. And we were walking down these country roads and talking. I'm doing all the talking. He's doing all the walking. Talk. I was saying my whole life and this and that and so and so. And finally, it came down to this. He said, you know what? This is not between you and your wife, or you and your father, or you and your congregation, or you and your business people. It's not even between you and me. It's between you and him. So go talk to him. And he turned around and left me standing there on that country road under the moonlight. And I thought, huh? So I went behind my father's house.
yes.
I put my head down on the ground the way I saw the Muslim doing it for those 3 months. And I tried to figure out the direction where he was. And I just put my head on the ground right away. I didn't even know about takbir or anything. And with my head on the ground, I was trying to think what to say. Now, I don't have a problem talking, as you noticed.
You did
But
a great job.
I couldn't think of anything to say except God, guide me.
Powerful.
And sure enough, when I raised my head up, I didn't see anything different. No bright lights flashing and rainbows and, the angels coming down. No.
Right.
But what I could see was inside myself.
Mm.
That the problem is not outside. The problem is inside. And once you realize that that is the only subject you're really responsible for on the day of judgment, that's the only reason that you're put here on the earth to start with, is to what is going on inside of you. Whatever you encounter, how do you react to it? It is not important what's happening. It's important what my reaction is to what is going on around me. And
absolutely.